My name is Haley Comet and welcome to my cosmic corner of the internet where we discuss all things astrology, and today all things Euphoria and astrology. I will be diving into the natal charts of all of the characters in the show Euphoria. I will be diving into what signs I think their character would be, as well as analyzing the natal chart of the birth of this show itself and the sensation that it has created. And I am so excited to be diving in. I did try to do my best Euphoria makeup. This is the look I was going for. You know, I never said I was makeup channel. Okay, I never said I was makeup channel. I'm a much better astrologer than I am makeup artist. I just thought it would be fun to get into the Euphoria spirit. And if you wouldn't mind, if you get any value in this video, if you could consider liking, commenting, subscribing, only if you want to, I would really appreciate it. Those nudges are really helpful for me to create cosmic content. And without further ado, let's dive in with the cast of Euphoria. And since my makeup is inspired by Miss Alexa, let's begin with her. So Alexa is a Sagittarius sun, she's an Aries moon, and a Leo rising. Her Venus is in Scorpio, so it gives that scorpionic feeling. And she has her Mars in Leo at 29 degrees. So 29 degrees, also known as the aneretic degree, it sort of gives this urgency feeling to a planet. So with Mars in Leo, Mars in Leo is a baddie placement. It's just, her chart is the chart of a baddie, and she's obviously a baddie. Mars is how we get what we want. Mars in Leo wants to be the best. They're confident, they lead with that. And with Mars at that urgent degree, there's almost this urgency in it. And especially if she has that Mars in the first house, it makes sense why, you know, she has such strong sex appeal when you have it there. And not only does she have Venus in Scorpio, she also has North Node in Scorpio, conjoining that Venus by a larger orb. It would be like 6 degrees away. But with North Node conjoining a planet, it bolsters that planet quite a bit, and it's essentially the native's mission in this lifetime to fulfill that planet. So with the North Node Venus, I get sort of jealous of this placement because it's like, it's a life assignment about learning to create more beauty within the world, to enjoy the finer things of life, to feel valuable, so on and so forth, which is why Alexa is just so hot and is here to basically be rich and be hot. I do love that she's a Sagittarius sun, because I don't know if you've seen that video of her putting on lip gloss. Yo, boy, boy, boy. Which obviously means I go, go, go. And Sagittarius is always on the go. They stay on the go, expanding. But her chart is so fiery, which makes sense of Maddy, the character that she plays, is very fiery as well. I had my guesses written down before I looked at the character's birth charts. So with Maddy, I also gave Maddy an Aries moon. She has a very fiery nature to herself, and I gave her a Leo sun. Obviously, you know, she's very confident. She likes to flaunt herself. And with the Aries moon, she has that inner feistiness. And I really wrestled, and let me know below what you would put her as, because part of me wanted to give her a Libra moon, which you might be like, that wouldn't make sense because she's so feisty, and I agree. But moon is our inner self, and it does seem that she does depend on partnership quite a bit. Aries moon tends to be very independent, and a Venus ruled moon would make sense for her sense of style, you know, and her desire to live a life of leisure. And I put her as a Scorpio rising because she has that scorpionic energy about herself, that intense stare. Gotta love Scorpio energy. Hey there, editing me here. So I just want to pop in with a quick note to say that a lot of these birth times aren't necessarily verified, or if you see a chart where I set it to noon, that means I was not able to find a birth time. So please, for the most part, disregard rising sign. But I will say the chart of Alexa had a good rating online for her birth time. I could totally see her being a Leo rising, matching all that fire energy. And I also like that for her because that would give her a Taurus midheaven with Black Moon Lilith conjoining. Now, if you're not familiar with Lilith, it's essentially the energy of sort of like the dark, angry feminine, like the femme fatale, almost like the Venus flytrap, right? Beautiful and seductive, but also this energy of danger, right? Which I feel like Alexa so embodies, and the energy of mystery. So I just wanted to add that. Of course, we aren't 100% sure on the birth time, but I do think the Leo rising with that Taurus midheaven would make sense. Next, I have Sydney Sweeney, who is a Virgo sun, Capricorn moon, Virgo Mercury, Venus in Scorpio at 0 degrees, Mars in Scorpio. And what's interesting about a Capricorn moon is it's obviously in its fall. The moon doesn't enjoy being in Capricorn, which Sydney is working. Okay, she is working. She is in so many shows, so many movies. Girly is hustling. She is getting her name out there like her. So I think that Capricorn moon work ethic just keeps her going. And then it conjoins Neptune, which is like why I think she has such like a dreamy look about her. I mean, obviously she's stunning, but Neptunian sort of adds this like level of glamour. And it also gives it, someone added this to my Pisces Ascendant video, but oftentimes if someone has like Neptune the first, maybe a Pisces rising or like moon on a personal planet, sometimes they can kind of have like sleepy eyes, which I feel like she has, not shading her at all. She's absolutely stunning, unreally so. But I mean, just something about her eyes are very sort of like wide-eyed, which makes her playing Cassie so perfect, and sort of like sleepy or like a little bit glazed over or like not quite there. And that feeling I got from her is why I put Cassie, the character that she plays, I would guess that she is a Libra sun. Obviously, partnering is very, very important to her. Cancer moon, there is a very sort of soft nature to her. She's very, you know, sort of emotional. She sort of reflects her environment, which moon in its domicile would sort of do. Sometimes not having that internal anchor, you know, constantly looking for other people to reflect to them that they are okay. And I think that combination would stimulate those feelings, as well as it's with that chart would make her a last quarter moon baby, which sort of gives this crisis-like energy, which makes sense for her character. And you can dive more into my moon phase video to find out more about that moon phase. But I mean that in terms of this sensation of her not really feeling satisfied or having this bottomless quench or desire for nurturing, for, you know, companionship, and feeling very lost when she doesn't have that anchoring. That's also why I put her as a Pisces rising, because there is this, sometimes she lacks form in a sense, and where she's looking for someone else to ground her or to anchor her, and Pisces rising individuals can struggle with boundaries. So I think I was picking up on her Neptunian energy that Sydney has within her birth chart, and I put the character of Cassie. I would imagine she's a Pisces rising. And Sydney also has North Node on Sun. So just like Alexa has North Node on Venus, Sydney's life mission, basically with North Node Sun, is to be known for her talents, to be known for who it is that she is. And Girly's been working and getting after it. It's interesting because her South Node is Pisces, which indicates, you know, an energy that can come more easily to you. So that also could explain why she gives this sort of dreamy Piscean energy. But she's here to learn more about being a Virgo, grounding that creativity, that sensitivity, and that compassion into tangible effort. It's sort of nice when you have North Node on your Sun, because it's like just by being the person you are moving towards how you can develop yourself. Sometimes in extreme cases, both Alexa's North Node and Venus and Sydney's North Node and Sun can, you know, spiral into being egomaniac or all about oneself. But I mean, they're both stunning and celebrities, so that's going to come with the territory. And I'm not saying that's necessarily true for them, but I'm just saying when you're looking at birth charts with North Node, it can give a certain tendency towards obsession. And I do have a video coming out about North Node conjoining planets if you are curious, if you have one in your birth chart. Editing me here again, just wanted to pop in with a note that I caught while editing that Sydney has Venus conjunct Chiron. So Chiron is a comet in astrology that is the wounded healer, and she has it with Venus, the planet of beauty. And I wanted to touch on this because this is an energy that also plays out within the show. Cassie, as well as the actress who play her, Sydney, obviously stunning, but the show is sort of exploring how sometimes your own beauty can be isolating when you really want love and connection. People just want to use you for it or siphon it for it. So it's almost like with Venus conjunct Chiron, there can be a pain associated with one's beauty or with one's self-worth and value. And that's within Sydney's chart and could have been a certain archetype or energy that she related with in playing the role of Cassie. So I loved Barbie's chart because, remember, I looked at these after I wrote down. Let me just show you my little note so you believe me. Let's see if there's a time. So this is the note of what I wrote everyone down as, and you can see the timestamp is January 10th, 2022. I've not edited it since. I told you, 10:39 p.m. I told you this idea hit me late at night, and I'm filming this on the 11th. So truly, I had these pics before I looked at their birth charts. So Barbie's I got a kick out of because she is a Sagittarius sun and an Aquarius moon, and I had put her character Kat as being a Sagittarius moon and an Aquarius rising, which I got a kick out of. And I put her as a Scorpio sun, Sagittarius moon, Aquarius rising, and Barbie does have a Venus Scorpio. All Barbie, Alexa, and Sydney all have Venus Scorpio, which is maybe why they were able to relate with, you know, the darker themes of Euphoria. Like Scorpio is all about exposing the darker underbelly of humanity, and people who have a strong Scorpio to their placement don't fear treading into the depths of the experience. And they also are, you know, all characters where their sexuality sort of plays a strong role, which can be a theme as well with Venus and Scorpio. Certainly not limited to that, but that's certainly a component to it. The reason I personally thought that Kat would have Aquarius placements is because there is this, like, she's friends with everyone, she's cool with everyone, but there's this energy of detachment, right? And I put her as a Scorpio sun because she has this whole secret life that no one knows about, right? The Sagittarius moon, there's this optimistic nature about her spirit, about wanting to expand, about wanting to explore. And Aquarius rising because she kind of keeps people at arm's length. They're like, they can know some things, but necessarily not all, as well as able to sort of compartmentalize her life, which would make sense for a Saturn rule placement. And I also love that Barbie has Mercury in Capricorn natally within her chart, because I feel like she just has like a authoritative way about the way that she speaks, like very matter of fact, down to the business. Or maybe that's just her character and I'm superimposing on that on her. Aquarius rising, you know, Kat in the show, she's well liked by everyone, right? But she sort of keeps them at arm's length, because Aquarius is an oxymoron in that it is both the sign of humankind, of everyone, and also this energy around being a lone wolf or feeling on the outside looking in. So I feel like with Kat, she's very like friendly and liked, but there's also a sensation where the people in her life don't necessarily know everything about her, which would also make sense with the Scorpio sun, like having this whole secret life, and the Sagittarius moon, because there is this nature of, you know, boredom and restlessness from her that is felt. So it's funny that the actress who plays her is also a Sagittarius sun. I wonder if that's why she connected with the role to a certain degree. So Zendaya, the actress who plays Rue, is a Virgo sun, Venus and Mars in Cancer, a Taurus moon, and Aquarius rising. Supposedly, the rising sign was verified by her mother, so it's meant to be very accurate. And the character she plays in the show, Rue, is also a Virgo, because, and we know that that's the only one we know for a fact, because it is mentioned in the show that she was born around September 11th, so that does put her as a Virgo. I ran the chart for the day that they gave of her birthday, and she would be a Virgo sun with a Leo moon. And I really struggled for what to put as Rue's rising. I want to say Virgo to a certain degree, because, you know, people think of Virgo and they think just like green juice and running and good habits, but Virgo is habits for better and for worse. And I think it's apt that Sam Levin said, the creator of the show, made Rue Virgo. I don't know if he intentionally did that, but Virgo and Pisces are opposite signs, right? And people usually will say Pisces are the ones that struggle with escapist and addiction issues, but Virgo it's a different side of the same coin. You know, Virgo's neuroses and anxiety can drive, you know, that energy to want to seek solace in whatever the habit is, whatever the tendency is. Virgos are defined by those habits, and, you know, it's up to the Virgo on the habits that they pick. The Leo moon also fit, I felt, because I do feel that she's very loyal, she's very possessive. And the rising, I'm sort of, you know, I'm gonna put her as a Virgo rising, just like visually how the character expresses themselves. The jury's really out on that. And Zendaya has North Node conjoining Mercury within her chart. So part of her mission here is around Mercury, words, writing, speaking. So I wonder if Zendaya is going to get into screenwriting at some point, or production or something of the nature. Not saying she has to, I guess acting is a mercurial pursuit, but might be something to dive into, Zendaya. Hunter Schafer is a Capricorn sun, a Gemini moon, and a Scorpio rising. I do not know how accurate that birth time is, but we're gonna go with it. I love that she is a Capricorn sun, because can't you just see it with that bone structure? I get so jealous of Capricorn bone structure, and I love that Leo midheaven with North Node conjoining. Part of Hunter's purpose here is to shine her light and to be known for it. Midheaven is the most public portion of the chart. And by a very wide orb, Hunter has Venus conjoining Neptune. Like I said in Sydney's case, it typically gives this glamour. Definitely with that Venus, it gives the style. I love Hunter's style. Hunter has Mercury in Sagittarius, which I feel like makes sense for the way that she plays her character, Jules. Like, I feel like Jules has such an optimistic mindset on life. So I put Jules as being a Aquarius sun, a Sagittarius moon, and a Gemini rising. I feel like you can also sense that Gemini energy from the way that she plays this character. It's sort of like this youthfulness and this light and this fun. Like that's Gemini, that's Sagittarius, that's that access. And I feel like it's very much infused into how she expresses herself, into her style, and how she plays the character. So Angus, the character who plays Fezco, is a Cancer sun and Leo moon. Oh my gosh. So his sun and moon are in mutual reception, bolstering the two. This is such like a creative jackpot of energy. This is also Lana's sun and moon. And Angus has the most fascinating story. He was literally walking down the street in New York. He's not from New York, he's from Oakland. And I guess a producer stopped him and asked him if he wanted to be on a show, and he thought it was a scam, but it turned out to be Euphoria, this huge thing. So he wasn't even trying to be an actor. How amazing is that? I mean, that is just so beautiful. And truly, that Cancer sun, Leo moon is just a creative jackpot, and it comes from sort of a deep, more emotional place. And I think that's how he sort of imparts his playing of Fezco, because I feel like Fezco has such his name Fez. I'm sorry, am I mispronouncing that? I feel like the character he plays, Fez, has such a heart of gold and sort of a sweetness about him, right? And with Cancer energy, you know, Cancer is the crab, right? They have a shell, they're a little protected, they're a little guarded to protect their more sensitive underbelly. And obviously in season 2, we've learned about some of his background and how he's truly, you know, been raised to do the job that he is and to be on guard and to be, you know, protective in order to, you know, take care of his grandma, take care of the people close to him. And I think that's really symptomatic by the actor playing him being a Cancer as well. So I put him as a Cancer sun, a Taurus moon, and a Taurus rising. I put the Taurus rising because I think he's about his business. He's just trying to get the job done. Cancer sun, he's a sweetie, he's nurturing, he's protective. McKay is played by Algee Smith. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, who has the craziest Scorpio stellium. Oh my gosh, talk about a Scorpio mashup. Scorpio sun, Scorpio Venus retrograde, Mercury in Scorpio, Jupiter in Scorpio, Pluto in Scorpio, North Node in Scorpio. They're all gathered together. North Node also conjunct the sun. Like I was saying, that can be a fame indicator because it's like being known for being the person that they are. All of these characters have a lot of North Node aspects, which is absolutely fascinating. And Algee also has a Capricorn moon. So what I put his character McKay as being a Libra sun, I just think he gives off Libra man energy to me, you know, all charm, and maybe it's a little glib, but I did put a Capricorn moon because I do think he has an internal, you know, dedication to want to be best, and he can be very hard on himself. And I put him as a Leo rising. So that was most different. I didn't pick up on any Scorpio energy, but maybe that's apt that the most Scorpionic, you know, character on the chart is the most, you know, elusive and not being able to see him clearly, most secretive. Maude Apatow is a Sagittarius sun. She is a Cancer moon, Aquarius Venus, Mars Capricorn, and her North Node is Virgo. And for her character, Lexi is the only one who sort of has her stuff together to a certain degree. I feel like she has a solidity about her, which is why I gave her character a Virgo sun, Taurus moon, Capricorn rising. I gave her earth sign trinity. Let me know if you think I'm off on that, but she just has this grounded, very practical nature, sort of the grounded energy for her sister Cassie, who I didn't put any earth energy. So I feel like with that combination, and rising indicates, you know, how you see the world, how you were brought up to see the world. And I think it sort of indicates how, you know, she came into existence with, you know, an alcoholic mother and with a addict father, and you know, she had to be responsible, and she sort of had to step up. She had to grow up before she wasn't ready to. You know, we sort of, there's not really a sense of like fun or playfulness or carefree. It feels like she's taking care of her sister, handling all of these things. So very interesting how much that differs from Maude Apatow's chart, who is Judd Apatow's daughter, which is pretty cool. And last and least, not shading the actor himself, just the character he plays, but Jacob Elordi plays Nate Jacobs in the show, and his birth chart probably surprised me the most. He is a Cancer sun with Mercury exactly conjoining, so Mercury Kazemi in Cancer, a Pisces moon, a Venus in Cancer, so very water. And you know, water can be a vicious element. I know we think of water element as emotions and intuition, but if you were to ask me what the most like vicious element would be, it wouldn't be fire, it's water. Because when you are emotionally incensed, you will go to extremes, right? I put his character, Nate Jacobs, as being an Aries sun, a Scorpio moon, and a Leo rising. I said Leo rising because I do think there's a decent amount of pride in his actions and attachment to projecting a certain sort of persona. Scorpio moon, because he's got tons of secrets and he acts out with it. That's the lower vibration of scorpionic energy. And with the Aries sun, because there is a very impulsive energy to him. In season 2, episode 1, he was driving 100, drinking beers down the highway. Not saying Aries would do that, but there's this impulsivity within him, this knee-jerk reaction, right? Which is present with the Aries sun. It does seem like he is driven by, challenge, conquest to a certain degree. So that's what I would put his character Nate as being. And let's talk about the birth chart of Euphoria itself. So I ran the birth chart of when the show debuted, June 16th, 2019. The time was 9 p.m. Eastern, and it was filmed in Los Angeles. That's what I said it. And of course, look at that, 29 degrees, Scorpio rising. Like I said, 29 degrees has that energy of urgency, right? And Scorpio, Euphoria does explore some deeper, more psychological, more intense themes, right? It is a Gemini Sun, a Gemini Venus, and then all of that Cancer energy, North Node conjunct Mercury. So part of this show's purpose is to reflect, Cancer is energy of reflection. Like, it's ruled by the moon. Moon doesn't have any natural light source of itself. It reflects that of the sun. And Cancer energy, it's often in individuals who are reality stars or even social media stars, because there's this energy of Cancer placements that they reflect what's around them, whether it's reflecting their interpersonal relationships or reflecting societal trends or things to that nature. And I know Euphoria's gotten a lot of backlash around, oh my gosh, this is so intense, for high schoolers and so on and so forth. And perhaps that's true, but it's meant to be a reflector around the reality of the youth these days. It's meant to make us feel something with North Node and Cancer dredging up all of these emotions, making us attached to these people's storylines. It's a Sagittarius moon conjoining Jupiter. And moon in astrology governs the public. Jupiter is obviously luck, expansion. So I definitely think that, and it being in the first house, is why this show has been such an enormous success. So friends, I hope you enjoyed. I'm gonna go take off this makeup because these gems are not very comfortable. They're not as easy as Maddy makes them look, but I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know if you have any questions below. I want to hear your thoughts. I'm not saying this is for sure their signs. It's just what I imagine that they would be based on what we've seen from them in the show. If you have any other ideas for pop culture astrology, I am all ears. And until we meet again, drink lots of water and stay cosmic.